This little video is going to show you how to generate a object file, or what's known as a hex file, using the assembler in the 8085 simulator. So you open up the 8085 simulator, go to Tools, select the assembler. Once the assembler screen is opened up, what you will then do is type in the program that you want to create the executable for. Now in this particular case, I already have one loaded in here just to save some time. You'll notice there's comments that are in here. Any comments that I do have here all are preceded by semicolons. There's two pieces of code to this file. The first part of the code is the main routine. It starts at address FF01, and then we have a delay routine that starts at FF20. It's important to keep in mind whenever you do write in a program using this assembler, it's important that you always put your pieces of code that you're going to write in ascending order, so the lower memory locations are filled first and then the upper memory locations are filled. Okay, so once you have this code in, the next thing we do is go to the options menu, make sure that the generate hex file is ticked. Then we simply go over, select assemble, and you can see down below here that we have the listing file, the LST file. This is a listing that will tell you exactly what memory locations the various pieces of code is located at. We also have the machine code listed here, so you can always check back and make sure that everything is correct. Now at this point, you've also generated something called the hex file, and that is what we're going to load into the primer trainer. Now that we've generated a hex file, we have to load the file into the primer trainer so we can execute it. We use a program called Hyperterminal, which is going to allow us to communicate with a monitor routine within the primer trainer. We open up the Hyperterminal program, and it's going to ask you to give a name for the connection. I will just call it primer. Just click OK. It's then going to see what COM port. Usually yours will be COM1. In my system here it's COM5. And now I have to set up the communication parameters. The primer communicates at 9600 is the baud rate, that's the bits per second. There's 8 data bits, there's no parity bit, there's 1 stop bit, and the flow control is none. Once you've done that, simply click OK. Now it's waiting for some response from the primer. I simply press the function 0 key, and we now have communication with the primer trainer. Now what we're going to do now is load that hex file that we created, and right here we're going to do a hex upload to trainer. So we need the greater than symbol, which is holding down the shift key, pressing the greater than symbol, and it wants to know what our starting address is. In this particular case, our starting address is FF01, and it's now waiting for some input. I now go up to the File menu. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select the, it's going to be looking for a text file, so we have to go over here to this drop-down box and tell it to select all files. And I have this particular folder or file in a folder called demo. It's called subsamp2.hex, which is right here. I click open, and now it's loaded into the computer. Now before you run the file, we're going to take a look and see if it's in the proper memory location. So it started at FF01, and this is our file. And we see that the subroutine is located at address FF20, And yes, we can see that the program is where it said it should be. So now we are going to press escape, and we can now, if we want to execute the program, you simply press the G key. I'll just call up the help menu. If you press the G key, you can execute a program at full speed.